Welcome to part 2 on the Dick Smith Wizzard. In this part I'll be attaching the cassette drive and taking a look at the demonstration tape that came with the machine. It was bundled in. But just a bit of background on the Dick Smith Wizzard. It was created by VTech Creator Vision, or Video Technology Creator Vision, and it was also released in Europe and some other countries like South Africa, Israel as the EduCat 2002, but in Australia and New Zealand it was called the Dick Smith Wizzard. Other names included the FunVision computer video game system, Hanamex Ramses, both released in Australia and New Zealand. It was introduced in 1981 and released in 1982, and it's running the 8-bit Rockwell 6502 CPU at 2 MHz, has a K of RAM and 16K of video RAM. So, not a lot of RAM to play with, especially the base RAM at 1K. I'm going to install the tape drive, the cassette storage module. It's got a little instruction pamphlet here. Shows you what to do there. Pretty basic sort of stuff. Anyway, start by removing one of the wood grain panels here. There's this little sort of a bayonet type plug retainer. Yeah. And then this panel just slides back and then off, and you'll see a cassette port here, and this cable here plugs into that. It's a little bit awkward, the cable's quite short, and then it has to sort of nest back in here from memory. Probably haven't done this for 20 years or so. Line that up there. So that's plugged in there now, and then the cassette drive just locates and clips back into place like that, and there we go, all set. This system could probably do with a little bit of a clean. It's not too bad. I'm not going to get too carried away with that at this stage. Install the basic cartridge here. This is the Dick Smith Wizzard moving key keyboard. Because as you may have seen in the last video, some of these, I think from about 8 to the end here of this row is not working, and I think from I to here, so there's a wee problem with this keyboard I need to sort out. But in the meantime, I'll just swap the keyboard out. I'm going to use this C60, just a blank tape here in the meantime. It's probably not ideal. C60 is probably a bit too long. You should really use a C10 or a C20, but this should work okay. And I've noted also that it's a chrome tape, so I assume that's going to be okay. Let's try it out. I just want to use one of these old tapes here, just so that I know that the tape drive's in working condition and it's not going to damage any of my original Dick Smith tapes. Oh, rewind's okay, that's something. The way this drive works is it's actually controlled by the computer to a certain extent, so if I hit play here, the unit just goes into like a pause mode. I'll show you that again. If I stop and play, it just momentarily turns and then pauses. It goes into like a pause mode, so it's actually waiting for a command from the computer itself to either load or save. I'll type in a short program. And record. This demo tape, this is the one that came with the Dick Smith Wizzard. So we've got a colour demo 2, and it gives you the counter readings there as well. Colour bar chart, calculation, high resolution graphics program, educational program, sound program. So let's take a wee look at this. So we'll CLOAD again. Press play and enter, return. Starting to load from the disc there, from the tape.
Hello, I'm your Wizzard computer, and I'd like to show you a demonstration of all of the things we'll be able to do together. For example, we can generate up to 16 different colours on the screen, all at the same time. Just have a look. Not only that, but we can change background colours and character colours to whatever you want them to be. Just choose a colour and see for yourself. I can show you how you can manage all sorts of data, like home expenditures and personal incomes, or anything you want. Just enter some numbers between 1 and 10. You can enter up to 12 of them. And I'll show you the kind of bar chart we can generate. And we'll be able to do complicated math calculations instantly. Type in the numbers and give it a try. And here's something you'll really like, graphics. You'll be able to draw figures and patterns easily, in nearly any shape you want, and with the colour generation we've just seen, you'll be able to make the drawings any colour and change the background to any colour you want. Not only that, but you'll be able to move the drawings around the screen from one place to another, or just have them disappear and pop up somewhere else. And if you want, we can even draw geometrical figures and rotate them through 360 degrees. So you can create your own computer animation and draw the most complex rotating structures, because your imagination is really the only limit. Something that you could just never hope to do with an ordinary computer. But with the Wizzard, it's not only possible, it's easy. Just watch and see what I mean. You'll also be able to act as a home teacher for young children and make learning into a game. You'll be able to buy ready-to-run programs or make your own and end up with things like this. Working together, we can use the 3 sound channels to make up nearly any kind of sounds, and even to compose music and play it back through the TV speaker. For example, these are only a few of the things we'll be able to do together once you get to know me better. And you'll find that the most exciting things, like the graphics and the sound generation, are things you just can't even start doing with many other types of home computers. So give yourself a pat on the back. You've picked me, the best little home computer in the world.
the demo tape. This cassette here is labelled Concentration, not sure exactly, some sort of game. Doesn't really tell us a lot. Battleships, a game like the board game, and we've got other cartridges. Crazy Chick, that's a Pac-Man clone music maker with overlays. Music maker overlays, just a little music program. And Sonic Invader, which you saw in the first video, if you've seen that, that's a Space Invaders clone. Also, we've got the basic cartridge, which we're using at the moment. Police Jump, I think is, yeah, Donkey Kong clone. The box for the Sonic Invader. Tank Attack. It's quite a good two-player game. So basically your tanks are on either side. So player 1 over here, player 2, and the object is to fire at your opponent's tank, and I think there's 10 hits or before your tank's destroyed, and you've got these little obstacle buildings and trees, and you can kind of hide in the shadows and bushes and whatnot around. River crossing with a bridge, quite neat. You can cross up here, there's a little ford up there. So yeah, I remember my cousin and I had a lot of fun with that one. We thrashed the hell out of that one. Mouse puzzle, it's a, is it called Pipes clone, would you call that? I'm not sure exactly what the name of the original is. I've heard it called Pipes. I notice in the picture here too that the Creator-Vision label is in gold, so whether mine had just worn off or not, I don't know, but that one's got a gold label. So some more of the overlay cards, Planet Defender, Crazy Chick, Tank Attack. Oh, you could lay mines too in Tank Attack. Very sneaky. Books, the basic interpreter manual. I would assume, not 100% sure, but I would assume it's a fairly basic, if you know what I mean. And some of the books that came with, not with the system, they were additional books you could buy. What have we got? $6.95. That would be Australian dollars probably. And there's a little catalogue on the back of the games. There's the Crazy Chick, that's the Pac-Man clone. Tennis game, pinball. That is the first book of programs. So just type programs, you know, what you'd probably expect to see in a magazine. And the second book of programs, $12.95, that would be New Zealand dollars, from a Dick Smith store in New Zealand, I would say. And just more of the, just different games, type in and type. And this is another book, I don't think came with the actual computer itself, it's just like a more in-depth getting started guide, I guess. Yeah. So here's a list of all the Dick Smith stores. So we've got Australia over here. Yeah, all Australian listings there. But yep, there was definitely a lot of Dick Smith stores in New Zealand, so we know them pretty well. They haven't stopped trading. They've just gone. They've closed all their stores and gone to an online only. DSE stands for Dick Smith Electronics. So I think it's dse.co.nz or dse.com.au. I'm assuming. I hope you enjoyed that little look at the cassette drive for the Dick Smith Wizzard. Not exactly a common machine, especially around these parts. So I'm not sure about Australia. If anyone would care to leave a comment down below, I'd be interested to know you know how many of these are still around in Australia. And so yeah, and yeah, thank you very much for watching.